Back up, sucker. Back up. Come get me, sucker. I'm dancing. I'm dancing. Follow me, son. No, I'm not there. I'm here. What?
Floating, stinging, punching, prophesizing, he transformed his sport and became the world's most adored athlete. He is Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, was first introduced to boxing in the 1960s, a sport largely controlled by the mob. Although Ali won the gold medal at the Rome Olympics in 1960, at the time the experts didn't think much of his boxing skills. His head, eyes wide, seemed to float above the action. Rather than slip in a punch, the traditional defensive move, it was his habit to sway back, bending at the waist, a tactic that appalled the experts. Nor did they approve of his personal behaviour, the self-promotions of "I am the greatest," his affiliation with the Muslims, and giving up his birth name for the more recognisable Muhammad Ali, the poetry or the quips. As an individual, Muhammad was an engaging combination of sass and sweetness and naivety. His girlfriend disclosed that the first time he was kissed, he fainted. Merriment always seemed to be bubbling just below the surface, even when the topics were sombre. The public as well had a hard time accepting him. His fight for the heavyweight championship in Miami against Sonny Liston was sparsely attended. Indeed, public sentiment was for Liston, a mob-controlled thug, to take care of the lippy upstart. Against public admiration, Muhammad won. Then, 3 years after Ali defended the championship, came the public vilification for his refusal to join the army during the Vietnam War. The government prosecuted him for draft dodging, and the boxing commissions took away his licence. He was idle for 3.5 years at the peak of his career. In 1971, the United States Supreme Court ruled that the government had acted improperly, but Ali bore the commissions no ill will. There were no lawsuits to get his title back through the courts. No need, he said, to punish them for doing what they thought was right. Quite properly in his mind, he won back the title in the ring, knocking out George Foreman in the 8th round of their fight in Zaire, the Rumble in the Jungle. It was to go down as Muhammad's biggest win, and it probably should have been one of his last. But coaxed into fights by his managers long after he should have retired, and perhaps because he loved the sport too much to leave it, Muhammad ended up being punished by the likes of Leon Spinks and Larry Holmes. Oscar Wilde once suggested that you kill the thing you love. In Ali's case, it was the reverse. What he loved, in a sense, killed him. The man who was the most talkative of athletes now says almost nothing. He moves so slowly, trembling through the crowds, and signs autographs. It's the impact of Parkinson's disease, witnessed firsthand by an estimated 3 billion or so television viewers who saw him open the Atlanta Olympics in 1996. Outfitted in a white gym suit that eerily made him seem to glisten against the night sky, he approached the unlit saucer with his flaming torch, his free arm trembling visibly from the disease. It was a kind of epiphany that those who watched realised how much they missed him and how much he had contributed to the world of sport. Students of boxing will pore over Ali, who ranks among the greatest in fistic history. They would remember the shenanigans, the Ali shuffle, the rope-a-dope, and the fact that Ali had brought beauty and grace to the most uncompromising of sports. And they would marvel that through the wonderful excesses of skill and character, he had become the world's most famous athlete, indeed, the best-known sportsperson in the world.